video you're looking at right now features Naftali Bennett, the former Prime Minister of Israel. He isn't giving a speech. He isn't at a podium. He's simply placing an hourglass on a table. And on that hourglass, 2 words are written in Hebrew. Time is up. Now, let's take a closer look, because this isn't a large ceremonial clock, it's a small personal timer, and the message is really quite simple. When the sand runs out, the window closes. But here's the question you have to ask: who is the time running out for? Because Bennett is no longer the Prime Minister of Israel, so why does this video even matter? And it matters. And that's because of the timing. You see, Bennett posted this immediately after finishing a military briefing with Benjamin Netanyahu. And Netanyahu, he had just finished a high-level briefing regarding his meeting with Donald Trump regarding Iran. The video is a signal, and it implies that the green light has been given. And while the media is distracted by the fallout in Venezuela, the American machine has already moved to phase 2. To understand the panic inside Tehran right now, we have to look at the report that just dropped in the British press. The Sunday Times published a bombshell investigation. It claims that the supreme leader of Iran has activated Plan B. What is Plan B? It's an escape route. The report suggests that if the regime detects a crack in the loyalty of the security forces, not a collapse, just a crack, Khamenei will board a flight to Russia. He won't go alone. He is reportedly taking a circle of 20 people: his family, his closest advisors, and that includes his son, the man being groomed to succeed him. The Sunday Times claims that Khamenei has amassed assets abroad valued between $55 billion to $95 billion. The plan is to govern in exile from Moscow, relying on the personal relationship between the supreme leader and Vladimir Putin. Now, you have to ask another question, and there's so many questions. Is this report true, or is it psychological warfare? But whether it's real or a psyop, it points to an undeniable reality. The regime in Tehran is looking over its shoulder. But then why would the supreme leader actually need an escape plan? We aren't in a full-scale war yet. The answer actually lies in Iran itself, on the streets. For the past 9 days, protests have raged across Iran. And unlike previous uprisings in 2009 or 2019, this one kind of feels different. The New York Times just released an analysis that sums up the nightmare for Tehran. Revolution on the inside, military threat on the outside. The Iranian rial has lost nearly half its value since June. The GDP has contracted by 15%. People aren't just chanting political slogans, they're hungry. And when a revolution is driven by hunger, it's almost impossible to stop. We have seen videos, unverified but viral, of Iranian police officers burning pictures of the supreme leader. If these images are real, they represent the crack that the Sunday Times warned about. And this is exactly where the United States entered the picture. While the streets are burning, look at what the US State Department is doing. On their official Persian language account, they didn't post a diplomatic statement. They posted a photo of Donald Trump monitoring the capture of the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro. So this isn't diplomacy, it's a direct message to Tehran. We took Maduro from his bedroom, don't think you're safe. And it isn't just tweets. Flight trackers have spotted massive movements of C-17 Globemaster transport aircraft flying from the US to bases in Britain. These are heavy lifters. They carry special forces and heavy equipment. The last time we saw this specific flight pattern was actually right before the 12-day exchange of fire between Israel and Iran. So what is Israel's role in this? They aren't just watching the protests, they are talking directly to them. We saw the Israeli Minister of Technology release a video addressing the Iranian writers directly, telling them, "We're with you." Naftali Bennett did the same, sending a message of support to the Persian struggle. This tells us the strategy. They want the protesters to last another week, maybe 2, maybe even a month. Why? Because chaos creates blindness. When the Iranian security apparatus is busy fighting rioters in the street, they're distracted. This is the perfect cover for Israeli intelligence to operate inside of Iran. They don't need to actually invade. They don't need to send their F-35s. They just watch it all crumble. They just need the regime to be blind long enough to strike the head. But I want to take a look at something nobody's talking about. Why did Trump start with Venezuela? And I keep on asking that question in all my videos because remember, Nicolas Maduro was one of Iran's closest allies, and maybe the answer lies there. Iran sent fuel to Caracas, and Venezuela hosted Iranian intelligence agents. They were partners in resisting American sanctions. By extracting Maduro, the US didn't just secure the oil, they cut off Iran's strategic arm in the Western Hemisphere. It was the opening move, so the hourglass has been turned over. In the US, C-17s are fueling up. In London, newspapers are publishing the Supreme Leader's escape route. And in Tel Aviv, former prime ministers are signaling that the time is up. The extraction playbook we saw in Venezuela was not an isolated event. It was a proof of concept. So I leave the question to you. Is the Sunday Times report just psychological warfare designed to break the regime's morale? Or are we days away from seeing the Venezuelan scenario repeated all over again, this time in the Middle East? Let me know your comments down below, and don't forget to follow Watermelon Express to stay ahead of the curve.